Hi there, it's Kevin with the Rogue Market here with today's episode of the Daily Delve, where we delve into the MTG market to look for potential cards to go up in value. Today we got a special one. We have another guest appearance, other than Talmadge is too scared to actually record this himself. Many may know Talmadge from the Discord. He's kind of my apprentice here at Gonero Games. I gave him the goal of finding a card today that he thinks is going to go up in price, and this was his call, the Tendershoot Dryad. And it's actually not a bad spec, actually looking at the data behind this card. Now, the card already is pretty expensive. Typically, I don't like to touch rares that are already pricey, so it already had its price spike back during March. But I mean, that's about the time period where Magic as a whole had a big price increase. You can see that it started to go down since then, and that's just the lull of summer. But nothing has happened to this card in the meantime. It hasn't had like a major, hasn't even had a reprint, and it still continues to see quite a bit of play in EDH and has a very unique effect as far as Ascend is concerned, which makes it a lot harder to reprint with other cards that don't have that mechanic. Now, of course, Commander tends to bend this rule, or other sets like Mystery or even the List tend to bend this rule of having mechanics that don't exist in the sets, like the more recent sets. However, this is not in the list at the moment. This is something that they might put in the list. You always have to be looking for that now because they update them every few sets, and this one might go on there. But with just the amount of cards that are on the list, I'm starting to wonder if those even have a huge effect on cards that do have a lot of demand in something like EDH or Modern. So Tendershoot Dryad, if we actually look at the numbers from EDH Rec, it sees playing 4% of all decks. It actually goes in many of the more recent commanders as above 35%. So we have it in Ruxa and Chatterfang and Volo Guide to Monsters in high quantities, which is a very good sign for it. It's still in very popular commanders like Slimefoot. It's also going to go in, I thought I saw it in some of the what's the dragon food dude? That is one of the more popular. Let's go to commanders here, top commanders of all time. We'll see the ones. Why can it? Corvald. So Corvald, a lot of them do run this in here too, because there is a bit of a go wide strategy with sacrifice effects, and this can go in there. It can go out a lot of different decks, no problem. It's very easy to shoe in because it's got that multiplayer commander feel to it, which says at the beginning of each upkeep, create a 1/1 green sapling creature token. So we used to have this on the Verdant Force. I mean, you still do have it. They used to be very popular cards until Tendershoot Dryad kind of pushed it out of its place and made that one look like the bulk rare. So again, this is a pretty high price tag. At $14 is the average go at this particular card, but there is a bit of it's almost there for Card Kingdom. So Card Kingdom doesn't say they're buying any of the regular Tendershoot Dryads, but if you actually click on the promo pack, they are buying the promo pack, and they were buying them at, let me get here again to the promo pack, and they were buying them at, looks like $13. So it's almost there as far as the arbitrage between Tendershoot Dryads promo packs on TCG Player going for the exact same as they were going for the regular ones, and it doesn't look like they're buying too many of them. So I don't know if someone has recently sold a bunch of copies to Tendershoot, but Tendershoot is in the perfect spot for Magic the Gathering, which is between Amonkhet through Rivals of Ixalan. I think that this is going to be the lull of all lows for Magic, kind of the big downer for Magic. The products never saw multiple waves as far as the boxes getting reprints, especially Rivals of Ixalan. I don't think it ever did get an eligible, like what we call second big wave of printing. So how it kind of works in Magic the Gathering is a lot of times they do in these big block print waves where you might have a bit of a hole from being able to purchase these products. So we saw it even with recent sets like Theros and Ikoria. They did get those multiple printings. This was one of those time periods in Magic the Gathering where they just did their initial one big print run, and it was enough to actually suffice through its entire lifehood. So we've seen cards from Amonkhet era go up in price. You see uncommons like Pitiless Plunder go all the way up to $13, and that's just indicative of a very weak market at that time period, and actually the scarcity of cards that just really exist during that time period. So at least Tendershoot Dryad does exist in that kind of sweet spot for where rares can go up in price quite quickly, and this one does look like a one that does have that potential of still being able to go up in price, even though it has had that recent price spike. So I guess I'm going to give a nice little thumbs up here for the call by Talmadge. Again, I'm a little bit hesitant for investing in a card that's already reached this, because maybe the risk of a reprint outstrips the possibility of a reward of this maybe doubling up. But with that arbitrage almost there for Card Kingdom, and it does seem to have still strong sales and a strong trajectory even up to this point, this does seem to be like a pretty good card. So if you have an idea for a daily delve, you can definitely shoot me an email or comment on the comment section below, and I'll give an analysis. I just don't want this to be my picks. I also want to see other people's perspectives and maybe give my analysis of those cards. So thumbs up for Talmadge here. He did a great job for a pick for Tendershoot Dryad, and be looking back tomorrow for another episode of the Daily Delve. This has been Kevin with the Rogue Market. Thanks for watching.